Got a little bet going on with Squidtard. I'll put his channel down in the description. Y'all go subscribe to him. If I win, I get his little get-up he wore for 5 years. He should have just kept it on because he looks like the guy off the Goonies. Hey, you guys. Anyways, he and if he wins, if Tennessee wins, he gets my whole channel for a week and he gets to post whatever he wants. Squidtard, don't make a 50-minute video about how Georgia's going to lose to Tennessee. It's not entertaining at all.
Let's run it back one time, for old time's sake. Georgia. Oh, Georgia. Let me take this off for now so that you can get a little bit of an understanding of what I'm saying. Man. Georgia. Been waiting a long time for this one. I had to make my own separate video about this team. That's how much I hate Georgia, as you know. And do the Georgia fans hate us? Man, they've really been scratching the barrel trying to find things to insult us with this year. You know, usually Georgia fans have a whole plethora of things to say about Tennessee. Oh, no, Tennessee sucks. We beat them. They're garbage. They're Smokey's dog is parvo, and he looks stupid, and all this recycled garbage. And they really had, I mean, they really had to scratch the bottom of the recycling barrel to find out what they can say this year. Pretty much the same thing they say every year. Now, you know, Georgia used to be the biggest advocates of, we can't talk about our last national championship because it's irrelevant. And now that they've won a national championship, that's all you hear them talk about. Anytime you have a conversation with a Georgia fan, if it's not incoherent barking, then it's, oh yeah, when'd your team win a national championship? Because Georgia won a national championship last year. We won one last year. Squidtard, look at us. We're 2021 national champions. That's great. What's the year? What's the current year? I don't know. You tell me. I have to say this same exact thing to the Florida fans now that they don't have their streak against us anymore. We own them now. Get with the times, Georgia. It's 2022. 2022. Nobody cares about your 21 national championship anymore. And that's all Georgia fans will ever talk about now is that 2021 national championship, because they know it takes them, on average, 40-something years to win one. That's sad. That's really, really sad. On average, 40 years is what it takes to win a national championship at Georgia. And sure, we'll make fun of Tennessee for 1998. We still have twice as many natties as Georgia. So if you want to start scratching in the past to looking for all of our shortcomings, then oh, I can do the same. Got to be consistent, Georgia. That's the big key to trash talk. And I know a lot of you aren't very good at it because it's usually recycled nonsense and plot points from YouTubers that have said it. And so instead of making your own originality, what you do is you just consistently spread nonsense. And that's okay, because Squidtard's got a whole plethora of information for you today about the University of Georgia and exactly where they're heading. Well, yeah. Anyway, Georgia fans have really relegated to the low this year. Since Tennessee is now a winning team, since Tennessee is a dominant, undefeated squad, since they're probably better than Georgia this year, pretty much the what they're trying to say is either 1998 or something like that, or they've relegated to, get this, personal insults. Woo! That's not good. And some of these Georgia fans on here, I don't know how they can throw a personal insult at my look, considering what some of these other Georgia fans have looked like. Have you taken a good look at Chess Hall lately? Coming after my look. Have you looked at Chess Hall lately? Looks like he belongs in the rhinoceros section at the zoo. Well, we'll get to Chess Hall in a few minutes. I got a bet with Chess Hall for this game. That's how confident I am that Tennessee is about to absolutely beat the brakes off of Georgia this year. Overrated, it comes to mind when I think of Georgia. And a whole lot of other words, which basically comes down to your team is not very good. That's just the truth. Georgia might not even be the third best team in the SEC right now. LSU might beat Georgia if they played right now. But since Georgia is 8-0, thanks to their easy peasy marshmallow schedule, they think they have the right to talk to us. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Georgia and their dominant. Since Georgia talks so much shit, since Georgia fans run their mouths so much, they must have a history of winning big games. Let's go talk about it, shall we? Let's look back at Georgia. So, of course, everybody knows 1980. That was the last time Georgia was really much of any significance before the last year. But, yeah, Georgia won their national championship in 1980. Oh, I know that makes you mad. Even though y'all won a championship last year, it still makes you mad thinking about 1980 and how long it's truly been since Georgia's been any relevant. But anyway, it's been that long since Georgia won a championship. And over the course of a couple of decades, Georgia was just in the shitter. In the 90s, they were just a terrible, terrible team and a terrible program overall. While Tennessee was busy winning championships, Georgia was busy in the gutter. And then the 2000s, Georgia got their act together a little bit, and then they went back in the gutter. And, of course, they hire everyone's favorite church pastor, Mark Richt. And what does he do? Well, let's find out. Let's look at Georgia's history from 2010 to 2020. So let's talk about it, okay? The SEC East, from 2010 to 2020, overall was probably one of the worst conferences collectively, or one of the worst divisions collectively in college football. I mean, you look at the teams and how bad they were performing. Of course, Vandy and Mizzou, that's a gimme. Other than that one year Mizzou had, that was good. They've just been in the gutter as well. But Vandy's been bad. Mizzou's been bad. South Carolina from 2010 to 2020, bad. Florida, oh, we already know about Florida. They had like 3 or 4 different coaches. And Tennessee, bad. We were bad from 2010 to 2020. And it was just a complete trash can of a season for about every single SEC East team besides Georgia. In the offseason, every single year, ranging from 2010 to 2020, not only did Georgia have one of the best recruiting classes every single year, some even surpassing Alabama, but of course they had unreasonably high expectations, which, you know, not so unreasonable if you think about it. Georgia with the number one, number 2, number 3, number 4, some recruiting class that's in the top 5 or top 3 every single year, ranging from the last 10 years. And, well, how many championships did Georgia win? Well, let's think about it. 2010, no SEC championship. no national championship. 2011, no SEC championship, no national championship. 2012, oh, that makes you mad, doesn't it? Think about 2012, no SEC championship, no national championship. 2013, same thing. 2014, 2015, when they fired Mark Richt because they were tired of not winning SEC championships and having mediocre 8-9 win seasons when they had the #1 recruiting class. And then comes in the big man himself, bowl cut Kirby Smart. Bowl cut Kirby. He comes in to save Georgia, is what they all said. To save Georgia. What was so? I don't get it. What needed saving at Georgia? Georgia was having pretty good seasons every year with Mark Richt, and he was a nice guy. And here comes Kirby Smart, and well, same level of recruiting classes, and he started out even lower than Mark Richt. He went 7-5 his first year in the regular season. Just a terrible year, as you can expect. No SEC championship, no national championship. 2017, they finally did it. Courtesy of Auburn laying down and dying, Georgia finally won an SEC championship. They go into the national championship, though, after a miracle win against Oklahoma in overtime. And what did they do against Alabama? The thing they always do. Choke. Choke it away. That's the choke artist, Georgia football. That's exactly what they do year in, year out, is choke. So, yeah, they choke away the Natty to Alabama on a 2nd and 26 play, as we all know. One of the most famous plays, and ironically enough, it's always against Georgia. You know, you see a lot of these highlight videos that people upload from, like, the past 15, 20 years, and so many of those big play highlights, those miracle moments, those insane, crazy plays were made against Georgia. The #1 recruiting class in all college football. And yet you can't figure out how to stop someone on 2nd and 26. How pathetic is that? I mean, how sad is that? And then, of course, relegating back past 2017, like 2018, no SEC championship, and you lost to Texas in the Sugar Bowl because you thought you were too good for the Sugar Bowl. #1 recruiting class too good for the Sugar Bowl? Maybe, I don't know. But 2019 comes around, you get blown out in the SEC championship. None of that, no natty for you. 2020, you get blown out by Florida in the regular season in Alabama. Pretty much the same story every single year. Georgia goes in, finds themselves against a good opponent when they have the #1 recruiting class. They recruit better than everybody in the nation, but they don't play better than everyone in the nation. That's the magic of Kirby Smart that just keeps on. It's the gift that keeps on giving with Kirby Smart. Every year, year in, year out, Georgia will dominate these low-tier, garbage opponents and then think that they are just one of the best teams in college football because they beat up on a bunch of nobodies. Then once they play a slightly good opponent, I take that back. Once they play a good opponent, they get absolutely dominated in every which way, shape, and form. And, well, it's been the story as old as the test of time for Georgia. And, well, yeah, Kirby Smart is a recruiter, not a head coach. I don't know how many times you need to keep hearing that, but that's the truth. But Georgia's recruiting class was so good in the 2021 offseason that when it finally came around with an easy schedule, an easy path to the playoffs, and an easy opponent against a worn-down Alabama, Georgia finally did it. Woo! Woo! Georgia won a national championship. Oh my goodness, it only took about 12 #1 recruiting classes to pull it off. Woo! Congratulations! And so, as you can expect, since Pac-Man was Pac-Man wasn't even a thing the last time Georgia won a natty. So as you can expect, when it came around that Georgia finally won themselves a national championship after 41 years, they finally got the chance to talk their shit. And so they did. And they've proven themselves as the most annoying fan base in all of college football. And that is not an exaggeration. ranging back all the way to even 2018, Georgia has just been the most annoying, petulant, crybaby fan base to deal with. And that's, I'm sure a lot of you non-Georgia fans can't agree with me on that. I'm looking forward to seeing what personal insults some of these Georgia fans lay for me in the comment section. But anyway, now that Georgia's finally won their 2021 Natty, they got their off-season of trash talk, and they were on the college football mountaintop. Congratulations! Well, guess what? It's 2022, and you know, by this point in time, when it gets to August of the next season, college football fan bases usually tone down the trash talk and, well, look at their next opponent and say, yeah, it's time to focus on the 2022 season. Forget the 2021 season. We were national champs. It's been a great year for us, but now we got to focus on winning another one. Georgia fans don't play that way. Instead, all they do is talk about their 2021 national championship. Anytime anybody says anything bad about Georgia, whether or not it's, Georgia may not be the running back you at college football. There might be a better running back you. Oh, yeah? Oh, what about that? And then they just post the image of Kirby Smart kissing, making out with that national championship trophy. And they're going to continue to do that for as long as they can milk it. It's going to be another 40 years from now. Tennessee is going to have 5, 6, 7 national championships under their belt, and we're going to be posting them after we won them. And then a Georgia fan is going to come in there, and they're going to post the same 2021 national championship. How much higher can we go than 4K? I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out and be able to compare it when Tennessee is posting their 2069 national championship as compared to Georgia's 2021. And we already know it's going to be another 41 years since until Georgia wins themselves another national championship. Even it may be longer than that. We don't know. Georgia has a history of choking away big games, and it's no different here. You're the Notre Dame of the SEC. You're the You're the Notre Dame of the big time leagues in the I guess the SEC. And ironically enough, the opponent you played back in 1980 was Notre Dame, and ever since then, it's just been a cursed time period for Georgia. Okay, but now that I've gotten that out of the way, we've talked about 2021. We've talked about every other year in the past. We talked about Georgia's history of coaching. Let's focus on the current year. 2022 is finally upon us. Well, it's more, we're playing in it. And, well, Georgia's doing more of the same that they always do. With their baby back, easy peasy, lemon squeezy schedule. They've only played one ranked opponent all year, and that was week 1 against Oregon, which was a home game in Atlanta. Yes, and that was a home game, basically, so cry about it all you want to. But Georgia only has one ranked win. And, you know, they love to talk about Tennessee. Let's talk about Tennessee, okay? You know, it's no secret that over the course of 2010 to 2020, Tennessee has not been very good. In fact, just like most SEC East teams, they've been in the dumpster. And Georgia only won themselves one SEC championship during that period, and that was it. But nonetheless, Tennessee has not been very good. But now we're in the current age, the new age, with Josh Heupel, the absolute beast that he is, proving that he is way more of a head coach than Kirby Smart will ever be, because he's taken a class of 3 or 4 stars. Most of these guys, most people thought before the season that they would never have near the amount of talent as Georgia would. And by stars, that is the case. But however, here we are sitting with the same record as Georgia is, with 4 more ranked wins. Tennessee has the 18th toughest schedule in college football. What's Georgia's? 76. Woo! That's not good. And here they come. I can already hear after I just said 5 ranked wins. Oh yeah, well Pittsburgh, Florida, and Kentucky are not ranked anymore. Okay, if we want to play by that example, then Tennessee still got one more ranked win than Georgia. And that one more ranked win just happens to be against Alabama, the team that Georgia just cannot seem to beat ever. And Tennessee did it in year 2 of Josh Heupel. That's pathetic. That tells you a lot about how terrible Georgia is at being able to win big games, and it's going to be no different here because this is a big game for Georgia, as we all know. How has Georgia been in this 2022 season? Well, let's look, shall we? So I mentioned the Pittsburgh and Florida game, and people love, and Georgia fans love to talk about this, how Pittsburgh and Florida are terrible teams now. And yes, you're right. Pittsburgh and Florida are terrible teams. They're not very good. We figured that out over the course of the season. Maybe they were just demoralized after the Tennessee loss. Nobody really knows what happened, what truly happened with Pittsburgh, but with Florida, they've just been, we knew this was going to happen with Billy Napier. But anyway, yeah, wasn't a great performance by Tennessee. I'll admit that. But we've been getting progressively better over the course of the season. What's Georgia been up to? Well, let's see. Tennessee struggled against a mediocre Pitt and a mediocre Florida. Georgia struggled against Kent State. Kent State and Missouri. Oh my goodness. That's terrible. Kent State and Missouri. And not only, you didn't just struggle with them, you got absolutely dominated by them. The only difference is they didn't dominate you by the scoreboard. You were lucky. The only thing that saved you those days was the talent gap. That was it. You better thank your 5-star buddy, recruiter Bowl Cut Kirby, for that one. He's probably the only thing that saved you from losing to Kent State and Missouri. Yeah, we struggled against Pittsburgh and Florida, but Pittsburgh and Florida would annihilate Kent State and Missouri on any given day. And Georgia fans are going to come in here and try and say, oh, Missouri's not that bad of a team, Squidtard. Missouri lost to Auburn. Auburn. They are a terrible team. They are a garbage dumpster fire of a team, and you nearly lost to them. You beat them by 4 points, and it took everything you had to come back and win the game. They were beating the brakes off of you in 3 quarters. You had to have a miracle celebrating comeback against Missouri. And then Kent State, that was a one possession game all the way up until the 4th quarter when Georgia finally pulled away. That's sad. Teams that you should be beating by 85 are dominating Georgia in 3 quarters. It's no different here than it was back in 2019 and 2018 when Jake Fromm was your quarterback and you couldn't figure out how to beat any offense with a pulse because your offense was just a sad, pathetic dumpster fire. And good news, you're one step ahead of being a dumpster fire on offense thanks to the efforts of Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington, and pretty much the best tight ends in all of college football. And that just goes back to how talented Georgia really is. And yet they still can't figure out how to win big games. Tisk, 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 tisk is what I say to that. Tennessee is going to absolutely skull drag you. It's going to put a dent into the Georgia fans' ego. They're going to be crying, trying to figure out excuses. It's going to be worse than what Alabama fans did after losing to Tennessee. They're just going to find every single excuse under the bus, and then it's going to finish up with, oh yeah, well, we'll still make the playoff. How do you know? How do you know you're still going to make the playoffs? I'd imagine that a Michigan who wins out, or an Ohio State who wins out, a Clemson, Clemson's resume is probably just about as good as Georgia's, especially if they lose this game. That means Georgia will have, in total, run 1 ranked win, and Clemson will probably have 2. And, I mean, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest if they put Clemson or a undefeated TCU or a 1-loss TCU over a 1-loss Georgia, who goes 11-1. And then, of course, once that happens and you're 1 spot short of making the college football playoffs, you're suddenly not going to care about the season. Everyone in your team is just suddenly going to stop playing, or they're going to declare for the draft, or they're just not going to show up at all like they usually do and get skull-dragged by an inferior Big 12 team because, you know, they're too good to win the Sugar Bowl. A lot of wah-wah going on recently for Georgia. And now that Tennessee's good, they've been trying to lie to themselves and say that, oh, we could stop Tennessee's offense. We can stop them. We got the defense capable of doing that. Tennessee's defense is nothing to Georgia's defense. Tennessee's defense is a dumpster fire. People love to say that about Tennessee's defense, that it's just a complete dumpster fire. Okay, well, here's a little something for you to take into account, dummies. Tennessee, our defense has, in total this season, 21 sacks. Georgia has 10. Tennessee has twice as many sacks on defense as Georgia does. Tennessee has 9 interceptions. Georgia has 6. Tennessee has forced 5 fumbles. Georgia has forced 3. Tennessee is better on defense than Georgia. Woo! Not only are you inferior on the offensive side of the ball, but you are on defense too. That's sad. That is pathetic. And that's against, what is that? We have the 18th strongest schedule in college football, and you have the 76th. And yet you only have half as many sacks as Tennessee's defense. I thought our defense was terrible, Georgia. I thought they were terrible. I thought they were garbage. What's that make Georgia's defense? Nothing short of a dumpster fire is what it sounds like to me. Oh, you better hope Stetson Bennett has the time of his life out there. You better hope and pray that Georgia's offensive line is capable of doing anything other than faltering and dying on the field. But Georgia's offensive line is full on potato. They've been terrible this season. And yet the Georgia fans, like always, blame it every time on the quarterback. It's always Stetson Bennett's fault. Stetson Bennett is a walk-on quarterback. A walk-on. And yet Kirby Smart has managed a walk-on quarterback better than he does the 5-star quarterbacks that walk onto that field. JT Daniels was one of them. He walked away after Stetson got the start. We all remember the story of Justin Fields back in 2019 where he was there at Georgia, and he was one of the best quarterback prospects to ever walk the field at Georgia. And who does Kirby Smart start over him? Our good old buddy, Jake Fisherman Fromm. And, well, as you would expect, Jake Fromm has led Georgia to 0 national championships. Stetson Bennett has at least led Georgia to 1. Your walk-on quarterback led you to a national championship, and all you do is just shit on him every single week, saying that he's one of the worst quarterbacks that ever played the game. He's just terrible. Tisk. Stetson Bennett has more national championships than Aaron Murray and Matthew Stafford. And all you want to do is shit on him. That's sad. That's sad. You don't shit on our quarterback. Hendon Hooker, that legend, the guy's about to win the Heisman at Tennessee. Yeah, that guy. He's going to light you up. He's going to smack around your defense like it's a piñata at a 5th grader's birthday party. Man. You listening still, Chess Hall? I know you've been listening. You're always listening over here on Squidtard. You watch every single one of my videos. And, well, yeah. Let's talk about this bet with Chess Hall. So, Chess Hall been running his mouth a lot. He's been running his mouth a lot. He's one of these Georgia fans that got on here and ran their mouth about my appearance. You kidding me, Chess? Man, this guy Chess Hall trying to insult me by my looks. Chess can't fit through the hall. Man, this guy Chess Hall, he can't figure out how to run a YouTube channel. And man, what an embarrassment that is. Let's talk about this guy Chess Hall who came on here and ran his mouth about Squidtard. Oh man, well, Squidtard went on a 2-year hiatus, stopped posting things, dating all the way back to 2021. And that gave Chess plenty of time to catch up in terms of subscribers, and he just has not been yet to do that. That's a shame. That's a shame. But maybe, and this isn't a secret here. YouTube is all about posting what you create. It's always showing your creative mind on YouTube. Chess Hall hasn't uploaded anything creative ever since the channel was born. He's uploaded other people's content and claimed it as his. The only times we see Chess Hall make something that's actually original to him is when he's sitting in a bed with his shirt off and completely naked like this. What's up, you guys? It's TikTok Chess Hall here. So, if you guys could give me some donations so I can lay around here naked some more and show some penises on my channel, then please feel free to I'm going to post a PayPal in the description, and I hope you guys follow. I really need somebody to give me donations so I can buy more dip at the local Walgreens. Please give me more money, please. And then that turns into more of the same. Chess Hall posting more content that he stole, or just begging for more money. The channel's really fallen off since Squidtard stopped doing game day not game day, what was it? What's it called? Chess Hall's game night. Yeah, that's it. Game night. Oh yeah, and about the penis thing. Yeah, can't forget that. Chess Hall, his channel went pretty much underground. YouTube gave him the hammer and pretty much terminated his channel for a period of time because Chess thought it would be a great idea to just there's this guy that wants to come into the StreamYard and roast me. Oh, and he roasted you, all right. Roasted your channel. He roasted your channel, and it went away. And then, of course, on Twitter, he had to be like, it's not fair, guys. My channel's gone. It's not fair. Why did YouTube do that? I deleted the penis. Can I have my channel back? I need my dip money. I ain't afraid of Chess Hall. Who would be afraid of Chess Hall? Can't fit through the hall. Can't run a YouTube channel. And he's 0 for 2 in bets against Squidtard, by the way. I don't know if y'all knew that, but yeah. Chess Hall is 0 for 2 against Squidtard in bets. You think strike 3, you're out, is how we should play this next one? He wanted, here's what he wanted right here. This mask, the Squidtard mask. Been a lot of my videos, of course. Like this. Oh, that looks stupid, but you get the point. He wants this mask. You really want this so bad, Chess? You better hope your Georgia football team comes out and plays like it. Play like you want Squidtard's mask hung up on your wall. Maybe you could put it in the back and be like, what's up, you guys? It's TikTok Chess Hall here. So, I really need some more donations. So, the next guy who sends me $100 through PayPal, I'll send you this mask that Squidtard gave me. Please? Please? Please, I need some money. Chess! Shut up, Allison! Oh my gosh! Chess! Allison, be quiet! Oh my gosh! Chess! Oh, man. Dysfunctional relationship is what that sounds like. Almost as dysfunctional as what this Georgia offense is going to look like while Tennessee's defense is getting picks on them. Oh, man. And, of course, the Georgia fans have been talking about all week how their defense is going to shut down Jalen Hyatt. And if that's the case, fantastic. We have 3 other receivers we could throw the ball to. We don't have to rely on Jalen Hyatt to do everything for us, just like you guys have to rely on Brock Bowers to do everything on your terrible offense. You are relying heavily on your tight ends to do everything on your offense, and it shows. It really does show. Oh, yeah, but Tennessee's not going to be able to run the ball at Georgia. Tennessee has no run game. Tennessee's, all they do is pass the ball. Bro, are you joking? Tennessee has run the ball 100 more times than they've passed the ball. Don't believe me? Look it up. Look it up. Tennessee has 350 rush attempts, 250 pass attempts. All Georgia fans use the internet for is just to post that stupid gif of Kirby Smart making out with that national championship trophy. That's it. That's all. That's their argument every time you listen to a Georgia fan try and talk trash. It's either that or they'll tell you anything about 2021 and dating back. And I don't know why you'd want to talk about the past. I really don't, because you have had a decade of dysfunction the same as ours. And that's with the #1 recruiting class year in, year out. Bowl cut Kirby. Best recruiter in all of college football? Not even a top 5 head coach. Cry about it some more. See where it gets you. I'm looking forward so badly to Tennessee finally dragging Georgia like they should do every single year. And it's not going to be anything different from year in, year out. Next year, it's going to be the same thing. Georgia fans will be like, you can't talk about 2022 no more. Once you get to 2023, it's going to be the same thing. Tennessee is going to beat the absolute brakes off of Georgia and smack them around some more, like they did, like they're going to do this year, and they're going to do every single year after, because the difference is between Josh Heupel and Kirby Smart is that Heupel is a head coach and knows how to coach his players, unlike Kirby, who only knows how to recruit. Kirby Smart is Jimbo Fisher without the money. That's all you can find there with Kirby Smart. But yeah, keep talking about that defending national champion. We're the defending national champions. We're the upcoming national champions. So let that one sink in, Georgia fans. Well, before we put an end to this come to irrelevance party for Georgia, let me just end it off with this. You better hope and pray that when you get absolutely destroyed by Tennessee tomorrow at 3:30 in Athens, by the way, which really isn't that much of a home crowd to begin with. Tennessee's probably going to have more fans there than there will be Georgia fans. But anyway, I digress. Once you lose this game, you better hope and pray that you all find a way to just escape and be away from the college football playoffs, because it would be better to not play at all in a meaningless Sugar Bowl than it would be to get into the college football playoffs and get absolutely skull-drugged by Tennessee once again. We are going to beat you so badly. We're going to absolutely murder you on that field. We are going to kill you in every single way. We're going to make y'all look like a bunch of Oswalds out in that field. We're going to make everyone look like their name is Oswald. You ever heard of a football player named Oswald? He hasn't been very good, I can tell you that. And that's what every single Georgia player on that field is going to look like tomorrow when the Tennessee Vols absolutely dominate you and move on to the college football playoffs unscathed. I'm going to let you know about it, and you most guarantee that the Tennessee Vols are going to let all of you know about it. You know, I haven't really spoken much about the Squidtards today. The followers. The ones who can't make up any trash talk to save their life. So, I guess as an honorary ending to this video, I'll send one last message that I'm sure all of you will understand. You want some of this? Come get you some of this!